Hello and welcome to the Rask Network. What you're about to hear and see is limited to general financial information only. Please be sure to speak to your financial planner or refer to our financial services guide available at rask.com.au/FSG before acting on the information.
Are you ready to give your finances a kickstart this month? Hello and welcome back to the Australian Finance Podcast. I'm your host, Kate Campbell, and today I'm joined by our Head of Funds Management at Rask Invest, Mitchell Snedden. In this episode, we're bringing you 10 different money hacks to help you maximize your finances. We've got some fun ones, some more serious ones, so Mitch is helping me with that. Now, this episode is brought to you by Pocketsmith, a productivity booster for your money. They're not just a budgeting app. They're an advanced tool that connects to nearly every bank worldwide, and we'll chat about them a little later in the show. Mitch, thanks for joining me.
Oh, thanks for having me, Kate.
So, have you got some money hacks for me today?
Okay, when you were referring to the fun ones, I presume you meant me.
You are a fun guy. You've been known for fun.
I've been known for fun, as we'll see when we get into my budget later on. First one I'll start with. I'm a dad. And so when you become a dad, dadding takes over.
And that's a line in your budget now, dad costs.
Dadding is a line in my budget. But there's a lot of free things you can do. So we make use of toy libraries. So I know there's heaps in Melbourne, and I've just done a quick search, and there's a few in Sydney, Newcastle, Brisbane, et cetera, et cetera. So toylibraries.org.au is a great website to track them down. And essentially, it's just like the library. There's no membership fee. You can go to them and you can borrow toys. And so it's really cool. So when if anyone's got young kids, you know that they just kind of go in and out of toy phases. You know, he's not going to be a train guy forever, although that has stuck. But, you know, we get all sorts of weird and wonderful things. We'll leave half in the boot of the car for a while and then pull one out randomly so he feels like he's got a new toy. And also it doubles as an activity. So parents are always looking for – this is going to sound bad. You're not looking to kill time or waste time with your kid, but you're looking to,
expend some energy,
do something. And you can go to a toy library and there's literally just all these other kids playing with the toys there. And you just kind of hang out, play with toys, see what he gravitates towards and take a few. And it's free. They're really good.
So you save some money. You don't fill your house up with clutter.
Yeah, exactly. And you save a heap of money.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like if I actually used a library, I'm sure I would save $500+ a year, but I do not.
Well, you're a big library advocate, Kate, so I thought that'd be right up your alley.
I am. I do love libraries. I use Belinda audiobooks. So if you join your local library, they usually have an access to an audiobook and an ebook platform for free. So you can access all of that. You don't necessarily have to pay for Audible or Spotify to get those services.
That's good to know. Was that one of yours?
No, it wasn't. But
so we've got 11.
Yeah. Oh, how devastating. And also often there's local tool libraries that you can borrow from. I really should use that next time I need a hammer. All right. My first one is a little bit more boring, but very useful for your finances. And it's basically writing out a flow chart for your finances and finding out where you can automate things. So I've got an image that I'll include in the show notes of mine, but it's basically my financial life and my different income sources. And then where I have my daily spending cash hub is a separate account. I've got my offset account where I have all my bills and things coming out of. I've got my different investment accounts and my super. And so I've sort of flow charted it all out so I can see how it's represented. This doesn't have any numbers. It's just kind of like, what are all the bank accounts I have? And you can use that process to then go, okay, I have way too many bank accounts that I'm not using. I haven't automated things. I could simplify things, or maybe I do want some separate savings accounts. So I'll include my picture in the show notes.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, but I think it's just a really good way to sort of visualize, if you're a more visual person, what your finances look like. And when your income hits your bank account each month, how do you want it split? What buckets do you want it spread out into? And what are the different layers there? So that could be something to help you.
Okay, I'm going to join two together because I'm not sure if I'll go over my allotted limit.
I'm sure there's no penalty for giving extra money hacks.
Well, I'll keep them separated then. Okay, so still on the kid train of thought. We really wanted to see if Wilbur, my son, liked getting on the back of a bike and getting a bike that could, was good enough, of high enough quality to, cart him around in a really, really high quality baby seat, et cetera, et cetera. But we weren't wanting to pay, a couple of $1,000s or whatever it's going to be to do that, and then for him just to absolutely hate it. Okay, so we looked around and I found this company, and absolutely not a sponsor of the show or anything to do. I'm definitely not paid to say this. They were called Lug and Carry, and they're around, I think, pretty much everywhere on the East Coast, definitely in Melbourne. And we rented from them an e-bike. And it had like the baby attachment on the back. It had the little saddlebags. And these e-bikes are like, I think this one's like $8,000 brand new or something. It's amazing. It's an amazing ride.
That is really expensive.
Yeah. A lot of people use them in place of a second car. So I know there's like another mum at daycare. I see her when she drops her kids off and she's cruising up on one. And they do literally use it as a second car. And so this is, what did we rent ours for? About $50 a week.
Yeah, wow.
Okay. And the cancellation period, you just got 1 month. So like if you could go on 1 or 2 rides in the first week and just to see if he liked it or not. And he absolutely loved it. And it was a lot of fun to actually go out. And that's another amazing activity. And the cool thing about this is they actually, after you've rented it for 6 months, we have returned ours because it's winter and we're riding way less.
Yeah.
But after 6 months, you get the chance to buy that bike, and what you've paid what you've paid in the membership comes off the ticket price. But also cool is what other people who have hired that bike previously have paid comes off the ticket price as well.
So it's like a rent-to-own model.
Kind of, yeah.
You've got the optionality.
Yeah. So,
That's cool.
If anyone's out, all the bikes have got individual names. So if anyone's in Melbourne and they're picking up like the bike called Jose, which is the bike we had, you are welcome. We have paid a bit of that off for you.
That's such a good reminder, though, because so many things you can rent before you buy, and you can test things out, whether it's a car or a bike or a scooter.
Yeah. So now for the end of, we're keeping an eye on the end of financial year sales and things like that are coming up, because I live in Brunswick and there's seems to be 1,000 bike stores, and we're going to buy, a bike that's good enough to have Wilbur on the back of and a good bike seat.
Yeah, that is a great savings hack. All right, my next one is using cash rewards and discount sites. So this is something very low effort. You just install them in your browser. They're probably collecting all your data, but this is what we do for a discount. And using Honey, cash rewards, things like that, they just scan automatically every time you're doing any online shopping, or maybe you're using booking.com or Qantas points, even that kind of thing. These browser extensions are just trying to find you any coupons, any discounts that can be applied at checkout, or sometimes cashback. So cash rewards, well, they would say this, but they say you'll receive 7% cashback on average. So that could be worth trying.
Does that fit in the serious category or the fun category?
I don't know. Fun as in you're buying something you like or paying for something.
Okay, this is very much, my next one is very much in the serious category for me. We really, really, really get value for money out of our annual zoo membership.
This is an incredibly serious one, Mitch.
This is. And it's funny. So it's about, to go to the Melbourne Zoo, right? It's about $45 for an adult. That's just one visit.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, well,
like the aquarium. Oh, there's so much.
I'm not an aquarium guy.
Oh.
But sorry, people who
Stingrays.
aren't. Sorry, Melbourne Aquarium. But the zoo, because we live not too far away, with an annual membership, it changes how you use the place. We now, because every single visit essentially goes off to reducing the average cost.
How much is a family membership?
Oh, I think it's about $130.
Okay.
Oh, no, per person, an annual membership. So you just have to go a couple of times and you paid it off. We are, we're there almost, I'd say every second weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. But it actually changes how, because it's a 10-minute drive for us, and it changes how you view the space and how you use the space.
I imagine there's no rush to see every exhibit.
Zero. There is zero rush. If he wants to spend 2 hours running up and down these big mold things that are in the kids' play area, go nuts, mate. I don't care. I'm standing there. We walk through the entry. He scans his little pass. It's very cute. He never holds it the right way up for them. We go straight to the Meerkat Cafe. It's right near the entrance. Zoo fans would know. We get 2 coffees.
The regulars.
Yeah, we get 2 coffees. We zoom through the meerkats, see the big turtles. Always, there's a turtle called Wilbur as well. So he goes.
Is that where you got the idea?
No, it's not. And then it's just whatever he wants to go and do. So we treat it like another playground. And there is like heaps of like water play areas and things like that there. So we get great value for money out of it. We also have an annual pass to the museum, the Melbourne Museum. Not so, we don't get so much use out of that. He's kind of hit and miss on it. Really into dinosaurs. I don't think he's yet put it together that the dinosaur, the bones in there are dinosaurs. You know, I don't think he's put that together yet. But yeah, the zoo membership, if you've got like, I'm guessing, depending on where you live, you can get memberships to your local area, like zoos and things like that. I think it's worth its weight in gold to us.
Yeah. I mean, in other states, you might be able to do annual passes with theme parks and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the change in mindset, you don't have to rush around. You see all the other families like really like carting in whole picnics and things for the day, and they're trying to get around and seeing everything, and they're stopping their kids from playing in specific areas. Like if you know Melbourne Zoo, there's a behind the lions.
You were such a regular.
I'm such a regular. I want to get him a little zookeeper outfit. I think it'd be hilarious. Anyway, behind the lions, there's this little water play section with like these little fountains that burst up, and there's like a fake crocodile, and fake crocodile eggs are there. And Wilbur we go there knowing that he's going to want to get into it. And so we take a change of clothes, et cetera, et cetera. But the parents that you see just like dragging their kids like, no, get away.
We're not prepared for that.
We're not prepared for this. We've got everything to see. Let's go. We don't care. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I reckon if I lived in the country and close enough to Sovereign Hill, that would be my annual membership.
I've never been.
Oh, Mitch, day trip. All right.
We have to do a Rask group trip then to Sovereign Hill.
I'm sure Monique would love that. Get her on the Mayan tour. Can't believe you've never been to Sovereign Hill anyway. Maybe it's just something you do when you're young.
Yeah, I wasn't young.
Most people outgrow it.
Well, I guess in time I might have an annual membership to that too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right. My next one is unsubscribing from all emails that would entice you to spend money. Now, email marketing is very successful. Companies spend a fortune on it for good reason, because you're getting emails in your inbox. This is the store can directly market to you, tell you about this 50% sale. And suddenly you were not planning to buy a new pot, but you did because it was on sale.
You're not that suggestible, Kate. I know you.
I'm pretty immune to sales, but I have unsubscribed from a lot because I did find it was just suddenly making me click the link, put something in cart. And then it was finally when it was in cart that I actually went, hey, what am I doing here? I do not need another pair of leggings. Anyway, I would encourage anyone listening to go through their trash, because most of us just delete these emails or we buy from them. Go through your trash and unsubscribe from the 10 most recent brands that you trashed.
Do not unsubscribe from Rask.
We're sending positive emails, helping people sort out their financial future. But any emails that are going to detract from your financial future and pressure you to buy things that you do not want to buy, unsubscribe. And you can always just subscribe for a short period of time. So like if I wanted to book a flight and I wanted to sign up to Virgin Airlines and put a flight alert on, I would just do that for a short period of time, get the sale, and then I would unsubscribe. So that's something you could try. I don't know if you do this. You just get all the marketing.
No, I go through big clean outs.
Okay.
I go through phases. Yeah, I'm not as disciplined as you.
But I always end up signing to more things. The thing that I get sucked into is put your email address in for a free PDF or a free ebook or a free recipe.
You've got ebook written all over you.
Yeah. I am a content hoarder. digital content hoarder. It's my problem.
You've become quite the cook since we first met.
I have.
Remember?
Yeah. When you met me, I did not cook.
Remember the Kris Kringle I gave you?
This is embarrassing because I probably don't.
I'm pretty certain I gave you your first cookbook. This is embarrassing, Kate. Wasn't that long ago. It was a while ago.
Well, now
it was an Ottolenghi cookbook.
Really?
Yeah.
The green one?
I don't remember the colour of it.
Oh, I may have regifted it to my father that year. Was it the one with the lemon?
Yes. Yeah. Simple. I think it was called Simple or something like that.
That got regifted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think we're up to 12 now.
That hurts. I know.
That does hurt. We're up to 12 hacks, and regifting is one of them that you've just heard from Kate. So thank you.
Best not to tell the person who was regifted. You've got to do it into a different circle of friends.
Well, yeah, you and your dad and I don't hang out.
Yeah, I didn't tell him
We don't share Ottolenghi recipes. It's like all of a sudden all these Ottolenghi recipes are being messaged to me. Where are they coming from?
Yeah. Well, getting comfortable with cooking and trying new recipes is a great way to save money because you have less of an incentive to just get takeout because you can actually make something that tastes decent at home. And I've become very good at butter chicken and massaman curry, so that's my go-to now.
I would never have picked that.
No, I've changed, Mitch. So much. What's your next one?
Right, my next one is actually paying for professional help. There's so many people, especially like people who maybe are listening to this podcast and listening to our other podcasts that are, financial enthusiasts, and they try and work everything out themselves, and they like to do a deep dive into things. Now, I went down an absolute rabbit hole one weekend when I was looking for the most effective, efficient way for investing for my son. I had actually started anyway investing for him. I just wanted to get the ball rolling, and then I looked at the tax consequences. And investing for kids, for example, there's significant tax consequences. So I had a call with my accountant, and the information he was able to give me very, very quickly would have saved me hours. Okay, and now when I put that into practice, it could actually save these investments literally thousands of dollars
over the next 18 years.
Yeah, over the next 18, 20, 30 years. So one meeting with a financial professional, like say an accountant in this example, has been worth its weight in gold. Like literally.
I'd absolutely agree with you on that one. Like using an accountant each year for doing my tax return and even just paying a bit extra for some tax forward planning of what I need to put aside for my taxes, that has saved me 10, 20, 30 hours and headaches.
And some people look at the upfront cost, a couple of $100. No, I'll just Google it. I'll look at the ATO website. Well, I can tell you from lots of deep diving that website's a little bit confusing.
Yeah. And it doesn't apply to you. It's just a generic scenario.
Even I was getting different answers on the forum, the community forum that they have. I was finding different search results for essentially the same question, and the person at the ATO end was giving different answers each time. So, we don't expect them to be perfect, but even if they're if it's a confusing topic for them, what chance does the average person have?
Not when tax legislation's this big.
Exactly. So I highly recommend seeking professional help when you need it.
My next one is paying for ambulance cover. And this is one that you hope you never have to use, but you're potentially saving yourself about $1,300 in Melbourne if you need to take an ambulance.
This came up in my house the other day because when I was, and I'm jumping a little bit ahead here, I was entering everything into PocketSmith, which we will talk about in a bit. And I was like, Claire, what is this charge from I think it was South Melbourne Ambulance or something like that onto this card? I had no idea. And it was ambulance cover.
Yeah, and it's not very expensive to pay for it. So if you're a single person, to pay for a 1-year membership with Ambulance Victoria, it's $52. And if you're a family,
it was a bit more than that. Yeah.
$104. It might have been your extras cover as well. There might have been
it was a little bit more than that. But it stood out, and I was what? I couldn't work it out. But
because even if you don't have private health insurance or extras cover, ambulance cover with your local state ambulance is something that you can just pay as a annual fee, and then you're covered if you need to take an ambulance trip. I had a friend that moved to Melbourne, never had ambulance cover, had to take an ambulance, and they got a $1,300 bill.
Oh, wow. And so my partner told me when I found it, when I saw this, that in a lot of your bog standard health insurance coverage, it's not included. And so if you're getting health insurance just for the tax benefits, et cetera, because once you're earning a certain amount, it's may not, in a lot of cases, in that lower coverage, it's not covered.
Yeah. So you need to ask, do I have ambulance cover included? Are there any limits? Are there any thresholds? Because Ambulance Victoria say there's no limits if you're on their membership plan. So find out what it is in the state. If you don't have it with their health insurance, can you just pay for it directly through your state ambulance cover and potentially save yourself a significant amount of money? Because Ambulance Victoria on their website say they get over 2,200 calls a day. So there's a lot of people using ambulances, and you don't want to have that
thing. It's a lot of $1,300 bills.
You don't want to niggle at the back of your mind that, maybe I shouldn't call it. So you always want to call and be proactive.
Good tip, Kate.
What's your next one, Mitch?
Okay, so my next one is, and we're actually bearing everything here, what's and all. So as you know, we mentioned at the top of the show that Pocketsmith is a new sponsor that we've got on board. So I have historically am actually quite bad at budgeting. Me and my partner have always earned, say, a certain amount of money not to have to, say, think too much of covering the everyday expenses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not enough money that it's like we're just piling up all these savings, I
think a lot of people would be in that position. They're able to comfortably meet day to day, but if they want to reach goals, they've got to actually put a plan in place.
Yeah, yeah. And so we did successfully have a plan and we reached it, and that was to buy a house. That was just over 12 months ago now. And so we had a plan where we were saving towards it, and we were able to save up a deposit. In that time frame of saving, getting the deposit and whatnot, we also had a child. And so we have kind of been, since that last goal, on autopilot. And so I've decided to jump in and use Pocketsmith to actually put something together for my next goals. Yeah. And so I had to sit down and think about it. And for people who are watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see my actual Pocketsmith account, and it's a bit ugly at the moment.
You've got to start somewhere, Mitch.
So we're turning off autopilot, starting to really think about where we're spending. And the goals for me, and I was actually talking to a Rask investor about this the other day, and he's got pretty similar goals. Now that we've got a family, we wanted to go on family holidays. That's really important because family holidays are where lots of memories are made. And back to dadding, there's a really good podcast series by Hamish Blake called How Other Dads Dad.
Oh, okay.
And the first episode is fantastic. It's got Rob Sitch on it. And he talks about family holidays. And family holidays are really important to them and their family. And he actually, when a kid turns a certain age, takes them on just a holiday with him and that kid. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But also he talks about holiday experiences, you don't have to spend much, and how when they were going on to all these regional kind of motels, and the highlight for the trip was whenever, when you go to regional motels and they have the little slot in the door and they can slide the breakfast through.
Yes.
The highlight for the kids was waking up early and waiting for that slot to open up and the box of Cocoa Pops to come through. That's all they could talk about. Anyway, that's family memories. He spoke so glowing about that. And we want to be in a position where, we can do that.
You can go on a camping trip by the beach. Or
Yeah. Or, so many people are going to Europe, Kate, at the moment, including you later on. And Owen's over there right now. Like, do these big, cool things and have those amazing memories. And if we don't actively work towards that, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The second one is then building a nest egg outside of super to retire early. Or not retire early. And this is a big one that I've been talking about, Rask investors as well. They just want to have the choice.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I want to do, because a lot of them would say to me they actually want to work. They actually don't want to stop working. They just want to maybe stop working 5 days a week.
Yeah, it's just having choices about what you do with your time.
So, I'm 38 and my partner's the same age. And so kind of dawns on you that
you're about to have your midlife crisis.
Yeah, this is it. This is it in the flowchart on Pocketsmith, my midlife crisis.
Can you see the midlife crisis happening in the numbers?
Oh, look, Kate, let's not get into that. Anyway, so I'm starting to use this. I'm starting to use it seriously. Look, it's not like one of those free apps. Like I've used a few free apps that don't exist anymore. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there like that. It's you pay from day one. I think it's like $10 a month or something like that. But if this helps me get back on track and actually save and hit those goals and go on that holiday and see the box of Cocoa Pops be slide through the motel room floor and have my son ecstatic about it, then that's a good money hack because that's done, that's that kind of stuff is priceless. And then having the ability later on in life to be able to make my own decisions, that'll be financial decisions about work, that'll be priceless too. So whatever, this is about $10 a month. And if it helps me focus on it, focus on my budget more now and not drift as we have been for about 18 months, 12 to 18 months, then I think that's an amazing money hack. So the challenge for me is to get in here. I've categorized everything.
You've set some goals.
So I've set some budgets. I've categorized everything, et cetera. Now, if you're looking on watching this on YouTube, the screen looks pretty ugly. I started a new job here with Rask, and that's got jumped to a new pay cycle. So I've gone from, say, fortnightly to monthly pay, and things are all in a state of flux, but it'll settle down. And so what I did, I made a mistake actually when I first started. I just got gung-ho and I linked every single bank account. The mortgage account, the offset account, this, that, the other. And then I just looked at it and went, wow, this is a mess. And so I had to sit back and think, why am I using this? And so I unlinked a couple of accounts. I then added in the balance of my property. I categorized everything. And I made parent categories, so just two big ones, discretionary and non-discretionary.
Yeah.
And then I branched out from there. And so now I feel
you at least have some oversight of where you are and you can make goals from there.
Yeah. It feels funny saying this because I think a lot of people think people in the finance industry just naturally always have it together. When it comes to investing, I'm very, very, very comfortable with that. But, your income and your budgets and your expenses are highly personal. And, So, this is a challenge for myself. And I'm actually using this and I'll provide some updates along the way. One cool thing I worked out, Kate, which made me feel a lot better was when I put in you can put in your property. And so I looked up on realestate.com and it came up with a high certainty of what the value of that was. And so I put that in and it can offset, it deducts your mortgage from it and then adds in all your other accounts and gives you a net worth.
Oh, that's so cool.
That I actually last night was talking to my partner and I said, hey, do you know we have a net worth of X? And
was this the first time you'd worked it out?
I think so. Well, apart from when we were had our deposit to buy the house, because that's very clear what your net worth is there. But now, but now it kind of made us sat back and we thought, we're not doing, because, when you buy a property, all your money goes.
Yeah.
And then
Stamp duty, conveyancing,
all you're
leaky
thinking,
taps, everything.
all you're thinking about is how much you've got to pay in your mortgage.
Yeah.
And so this helped me reframe that, put it in a positive light. So that was really cool. So I've flipped my thinking on that. I've now got 2 very clear goals, and fingers crossed, I'll be talking about my family holidays and things like that next.
Well, that's great. You found a tool to help you sort of visualize all of this.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. I'm very glad I actually jumped in and did it made the most out of it.
Yeah.
Even though they're a sponsor, we try to get sponsors on the show who are actually genuinely going to help people who are listening. So they didn't expect me to say all this, I don't think.
You're just going off script, Mitch. But they do, if anyone is interested in giving them a shot, we do have a link in the show notes where you can get a 50% discount off your first 2 months.
Yeah, cool. I should also get an affiliate deal on Zoo memberships.
You're going to refer a few people to the Melbourne Zoo, I reckon. Oh, well. If anyone wants to chat investing on a weekend, hit up the Melbourne Zoo and
I'll see you.
Mitch down.
Yeah, I'll see you at the Meerkat Cafe. That's a given.
Wonderful. Well, we covered a lot of money hacks today. Hopefully some of them are useful to people. At least they've been useful to us.
Yeah. And we found out that Kate re-gifted my Kris Kringle to her.
I'm sorry, Mitch. I will make sure you get a fantastic Christmas present this year.
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. I keep my promises. All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening to today's Money Hacks episode. If you have a money hack to share with us, hit the Ask a Question button in the show notes and we'll read some of yours out next time. Wonderful. Cool. Well, Mitch, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for watching this video on the Rask Network. While you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get videos each and every day on business, finance, investing, and so much more.